It helps secure the 3 seed, and this is wild to me, UD. This marks the first time LeBron will have home court advantage since coming to Los Angeles. Isn't that crazy? Wow. There are 3 potential first-round opponents for the Lakers, right? The Timberwolves, the Nuggets, and the Warriors. Here's how each scenario is possible. Minnesota would be the 6th seed with a win and wins by the Clippers and the Nuggets. Remember, the Nuggets play Houston. Houston is playing their guys in this one. Denver would be the 6th seed with a loss and wins by the Clippers and Timberwolves. And for the Warriors, their easiest path to be the 6th seed is just win today against the Clippers. Now, the Lakers, they have the second best odds to win the Western Conference. But standings aside, do you think they're the second best team in the West, Stephen A?
I think at this particular moment in time, you can say that. I know that Houston is the number 2 seed. I believe in Ime Udoka. Them young thoroughbreds can ball. I still think they're a piece away, or I should say a year away as opposed to a piece, because even though Dylan Brooks and Fred VanVleet are on that squad, I still think you need somebody else from a leadership veteran standpoint to help them. But I think they've got the pieces, and they certainly have the coach. It's just that with the Los Angeles Lakers, you see LeBron and Luka together. And the elevated play of Austin Reeves can no longer be ignored. And, oh, by the way, I want to say something that I don't consider it bold at all. J.J. Redick is going to win himself a championship one day as a coach in the near future. I think he's proven to be that exceptional and that locked in and that zeroed in. Might not be this year, but with Luka and LeBron, I can't summarily dismiss them against anybody outside of OKC. I think the way that they've looked right now with their experience, that playoff experience, you got to see one of these younger teams, like a Houston, I got to see them take them out to believe it.
I see these two have been looking at each other the entire time you've been talking. Why? What are you keying about over here?
JJ has done an amazing job, but we do not give Houston their flowers, and you slightly did. But, yes, they might be young, but I'm looking at a team who has 5 guys starting in their starting lineup that average double figures. When we look at what Luka was able to go against last year against Boston, he wasn't able to hide. This is a team where if they played him in a 7-game series, he's not going to be able to hide. By the way, they're 14th in offense, but they're 2nd in defense, so they can guard. And on the other end, they're 1st in rebounding. The Lakers are 26 in rebounding. In a 7-game series, when you're in the mud, nobody's running any plays you haven't seen before. It comes down to physicality. It comes down to grit. It comes down to muscle. I'm looking at that team, and I'm saying, okay, yeah, everybody says the Lakers. I say Houston.
I disagree with you both. I get y'all points. Here's the reason with the Rockets. I feel like in a 7-game series with all the superstar power you have in the Western Conference, you need that closer, right? When the game gets tight in the fourth quarter, you need that guy that's going to be able to go toe-to-toe with a Jokic or Luka and LeBron or SGA. I just feel like they don't have that right now consistently. But I'm with you. I love what I'm seeing out of the Rockets. SA, here's the problem that I have with the Lakers, right? They don't match up well with Golden State at all, right? They don't match up well with the Clippers, in my opinion, at all. Any team that has the versatility to switch on the perimeter defensively causes problems for the Lakers. And that's what the Golden State exposed about a week ago when they played the Lakers, because Luka was trying to search people out. He trying to search, who you going to search out? I'm going to bring Draymond up? Nope, because Draymond can switch. He's a smart enough defender. Can I bring up Podziemski? Nope, Podziemski. Enough body, enough IQ to defend. So, again, when I look at the perimeter defense that the Clippers have, Kawhi, Derrick Jones Jr., Chris Dunn, who we don't talk about enough, who's one of Ty Lue's favorite players, I'm just looking at it, it's OKC and everybody else.
So who shouldn't the Lakers want to see in the first round? Let's assume today that Minnesota gets the win over Utah, and I think the Nuggets are going to get there.
I would say the team they shouldn't want to see is the Golden State Warriors.
Okay.
Yes.
Because of Steph Curry, because of the experience that Steph Curry, Jimmy Buckets, along with Draymond Green bring to the table, the exceptional coaching of Steve Kerr, one of the top 6 coaches of all time. There is no debating that. When you look at everything that they have in play, their perimeter shooting, their ability to hit free throws, etc. I think all of these things, and their defensive prowess, because they can, even though they're undersized, they can get at you like a bunch of piranhas. When you look at Golden State in that regard, that could be a bigger problem in my mind, more so than Houston, to answer the question about the Lakers.
Nah, I'm still going with Houston. Once again, I'm going.
But they wouldn't match up with Houston until the second round, so the first round. Yeah. So when you're looking at the most likely first round opponent, who don't they want to see?
They don't want to see Golden State.
Okay.
I agree with that. I agree. Nobody wants to see Steph in the first round in a 7-game series. And you made the trade for Jimmy Butler at the halfway mark. You got rid of a guy like Andrew Wiggins, a guy who we can say in 2022 was probably your best player in that final. So you make that move to get to the finals. You don't make that move to lose in the first round or to get in the play-in. So yes, the pressure's on. I say they don't want to see Golden State with Golden State's back against the wall.
And then we got to point out, what are the Lakers great at, right, defensively? They're great at boxes and elbows, taking away the paint, taking away drives, and giving up wide-open threes. And we were on here with Bob Myers, and Bob Myers was like, that can't work throughout the course of the postseason. And it definitely can't work against Golden State because Golden State is going to make you pay if you leave them open. So it's no taking away, sagging, and giving up wide-open threes and saying, oh, we don't believe you can shoot because they can shoot. Here's the thing about the Rockets, too, again. The Rockets are 25th in the league for us made threes. Yeah. You got to be able to make shots, UD. You got to be
Houston and Memphis, that's their Achilles.
Houston and Memphis, all right. Well, one thing we do know for sure that the Lakers, for once, they're not in the play. Regular season is here, and let's buckle up because this is going to be a wild ride considering there's only 4 things we know and a whole bunch of things we don't. We know the Eastern Conference standings are set, right? The top-seeded Cavaliers and Celtics, they're chilling with their popcorn today doing what, Perk?
Wiggling their toes in the sand.
What an image. The Knicks, they have a date with the pesky Pistons, and we got a rematch of the Pacers and Bucks here.
Together.
But Stephen A., in the West, we only know 3 things. We know the Oklahoma City Thunder have clinched the 1 seed throughout the playoffs. We know the Rockets and the Lakers, they've cemented a distant 2nd and 3rd place behind them. And that is where what we know ends. And here, UD, is where things get fun. 4 through 10, they're up for grabs today. The Nuggets, the Clippers, the Warriors, the Wolves, the Grizzlies. They can all find themselves in the 7th seed and play-in tournament. That means there are endless possibilities for our electric moment brought to you by Hyundai. Let's just walk through one more time some of the scenarios for today. Perk, you got your notepad ready?
Damn right.
The Nuggets, it's simple. With a win against the Rockets, they would be locked into the 4 seed and have home court advantage in the first round. The Clippers, right? They would clinch a top 5 seed with a win versus the Warriors. Now, there is a world where they could be the 5th seed with a loss. We're going to get into that in just a second. Don't worry about it for now. The Warriors, though, a win, the most simple scenario. That makes them the 6th seed in the West. Steph and LeBron would play in the first round for the 6th postseason meeting they've ever had. Golden State would also be the 6th seed with a loss, but that would need the Timberwolves to lose as well. And speaking of Minnesota, they could clinch a playoff spot with a win against the Jazz. They are 23.5-point favorites. That is the largest spread since 1993. But, as you saw just a little bit ago, the Timberwolves, they can move all the way to 4th in the standings if the Timberwolves, the Clippers, the Warriors, and the Nuggets all finish with the same record. The order would go: the Timberwolves at 4, the Clippers at 5, the Warriors at 6, and the Nuggets would drop into the play-in at 7. There is nobody else I would rather break down the madness with than NBA champs Udonis Haslem, Kendrick Perkins, our champ Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A., I just laid it all out. This is wild. There is so much on the line heading into today.
I just want to thank everybody. That's what I want to do. Fresh off vacation, I want to thank Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, for the play-in. I want to thank Draymond Green for opening his mouth All-Star Weekend and guaranteeing the championship for Golden State. Don't have a heart attack, Big Perk. I want to thank Kawhi Leonard because the brother healthy. And he looked like he might be healthy come playoff time, okay? Of course, I want to thank Jokic. I want to thank everybody. This is what it comes down to right here, baby. It matters. If you're Golden State, you got a decision to make. Do you win, get that number 6 seed, you're going up against the Lakers, or do you lose, possibly fall out of the playoff picture, you end up in the play-in tournament, and you find yourself going up against the Houston Rockets, assuming you get through the play-in and you get to the playoffs. Very, very interesting and compelling storylines all over the place. All I know is I'm happy to be back.
He says, I am having a very bad day.